Why did the legendary drug kingpin Rayful Edmond appreciate Coach Thompson so much? What was it about Coach Thompson that earned him that regard? Unearthing a unique bond that transcended their divergent paths, this enthralling story of unexpected respect and influence tells the story of how a great basketball coach and a criminal genius are connected in a way that is both surprising and fascinating. In 1989, a basketball coach and Rayful Edmond, a reputed cocaine kingpin, came face to face in a spectacular showdown. This is a disturbing illustration of the drug trade's far-reaching influence and the threats it possesses to communities. No one knows who the coach is who had the courage to face down Rayful Edmond, one of the city's most notorious drug lords. Edmond had risen to the top of the city's illegal drug industry with the help of his lavish lifestyle and merciless methods. The coach's bold move brought to light widespread anxiety and danger in response to the widespread destruction of local communities by drug abuse and trafficking. His resistance in the face of Edmond was emblematic of the community's thirst for retribution and its resolve to fight the drug trade's destructive effects. The exact nature of the confrontation is unknown, but the coach's actions serve as a reminder of the strength needed to challenge the vested interests that fuel the drug crisis and hopefully encourage others to join the battle for a better, safer world. In the realm of illegal drugs, Rayful Edmond was a household name, especially in the crack cocaine trade. He was very successful because he controlled a sizable piece of the illegal drug market and made millions of dollars every year. Edmond's business savvy and strategic planning helped him build an extensive supply chain and consumer base. Edmond monopolized the crack cocaine market in his jurisdiction thanks to his expert knowledge of supply and demand. He was exceptionally well organized, which allowed him to keep a low profile while still effectively running his business. His street smarts and business savvy helped him outwit his rivals and become the dominant player in the illegal drug trade. Edmond became extremely wealthy and powerful as a result of his illicit operations, but he also caught the attention of the authority. As he came under the increasing government investigation, his enterprise eventually collapsed. Edmond's story, despite his seeming success as a crack dealer, is a cautionary tale about the destructive nature of the illegal drug trade and the repercussions that come with it. Edmond's operation caused widespread destruction in the nation's capital, with effects felt for days after the initial blast. Immediate and long-term effects permeated all facets of life. The disease of addiction in particular has evolved into a pervasive and destructive menace. Lem Bias's untimely death, a hopeful NBA draft pick, acts as a devastating emblem of the destruction wreaked by Edmond's business amidst this upheaval. Bias and a promising young athlete gave in to the temptation of drugs and ultimately paid the ultimate price by losing his life. His early demise highlighted the irreversible effects of drug misuse. Edmond's action had far-reaching repercussions, creating wounds that would take years, if not decades, to heal. It revealed how susceptible communities are to harm, stressing the importance of better safeguards, education, and support networks in the fight against addiction and its devastating effects. The story of Edmond was one of dogged pursuit and satisfying retribution. DC law enforcement and the FBI fought feverishly to apprehend him, and their efforts paid off. They were so set on stopping Edmond and his illicit operations that they wasted no time or energy in their pursuit of him. The authorities were able to draw closer to their target thanks to their thorough investigation and coordinated efforts. They did their homework, following clues and using a variety of methods to finally catch him. When they tracked down and captured Edmond, he was finally brought to justice and his reign of terror was over. Edmond was made to face the consequences of his actions in court. There was no room for doubt in his guilt in light of the mountain of evidence against him. The court found his conduct to be extremely serious. Therefore, justice was done. Edmond received a life sentence without the possibility of parole, ensuring that he would never again be a danger to the public. The dedication of law enforcement to protecting communities and holding criminals accountable is demonstrated by the excellent partnership between the DC police and the FBI. Edmond found himself in a setting that seemed to foster feelings of despondency and pessimism when he was incarcerated. On the other hand, rather than giving in to the hopelessness of his circumstances, he looked at it as a chance to broaden the scope of his drug business. Edmond was able to continue to operate his illegal drug business from behind bars thanks to his sharp mind and extensive network of connections. Edmond was able to keep his relationships with future figures in the cocaine trade despite the tight environment and restricted communication that he was subjected to. He was in charge of orchestrating drug deals, managing supply chains, and supervising distribution networks, and he did this by using covert channels and trusted middlemen. The confines of the prison transformed into an improbable stronghold that protected him from the authorities while also enabling him to expand his illegal operation. It was a credit to Edmond's skill and cunning that he was able to navigate the hazardous world of organized crime from within the confines of prison. His enterprises were successful, and he rose to prominence as a prominent player in the criminal underworld. However, he had no idea that his daring deeds would eventually come back to haunt him, resulting in unanticipated consequences and a reckoning that he could never have predicted. Edmond's decision to become a government informant was a game changer for him, since it it was motivated by a strong yearning for justice and the need to atone for his mistakes in the past. He carried the weight of guilt for his engagement in criminal activities because he had once been involved in the seedy underbelly of the illegal drug trade. Edmond, who was adamant about making up for his transgressions, mustered the bravery to assist the authorities in their investigation. His continuous cooperation and contribution of useful information resulted in the arrest of 11 additional prominent drug dealers. His insider knowledge proved to be a significant breakthrough in the process of dismantling the harmful network that had been plaguing the neighborhood for many years. Not only did the information he provided assist law enforcement agencies in apprehending these perpetrators, but it also led to the resolution of a number of murder cases that had previously been unresolved. His boldness and unwavering dedication to making positive changes in his life were on full display when he made the decision to cooperate with authorities and become an informant. His acts not only ensured the safety of the community, but also served as an inspiration to others, displaying the power of redemption and the potential to make a positive influence even after being involved in the darkest of circumstances. His actions assured that the town would be safe, but they also served as an inspiration to others. Allen Iverson was an incredibly talented basketball player who ran into legal trouble, but was given a unique opportunity for atonement under the tutelage of Coach Thompson from the Georgetown Hoyas. Coach Thompson was responsible for Iverson's turnaround. In spite of the fact that Iverson has undisputable talent on the floor, the entanglements he was involved in off the court posed a threat to his promising career. Despite this, Iverson was given a second opportunity by Coach Thompson because he saw the potential that Iverson possessed. The unshakable faith that Coach Thompson had in Iverson's abilities, despite the turbulent circumstances surrounding the player, was evidence of the coach's devotion to cultivating both athletic prowess and personal development in his players. Coach Thompson provided Iverson with the opportunity to join the Georgetown Hoyas, which served as a platform for the young athlete to rehabilitate his public image and reconstruct his life. Iverson is grateful to Coach Thompson for this opportunity. This story is a striking demonstration of the life-altering power of second chances and the vital role that mentors and coaches play in directing the trajectory of people whose destinies are committed to their supervision. Because of Coach Thompson's intervention, not only was Allen Iverson able to save his basketball career, but he also served as a shining example of the human spirit's capacity for overcoming adversity and finding new beginnings.
Everybody inside the jail in some way, shape, form, or fashion is dealing in drugs, either directly or indirectly.
He was caught and 2 years ago struck a deal with the feds. Ever since, he's been telling them exactly how he pulled it off. Tell me what drugs you dealt with in prison. Cocaine?
Cocaine.
Crack?
Crack.
Heroin?
Heroin.
What else?
Marijuana. Those were the basic four: cocaine, crack, and heroin, and marijuana.
There's nothing left. You did the gamut.
Yeah, I did it all.
He did it all and then some.
She might kiss him and he put them in his mouth. He drink a little bit of soda or water, swallow. She go do it again. Good day.
So that's all for today's video. If you do want to watch more, then do hit the subscribe button.